to Coffee Chat with Lindsey and Neely.
I have
Uh,
my Do you
I
have yours?
I actually do have coffee. I mixed up one of my Rasas, the one
Yeah,
that has a little bit of coffee added. So it's
nice.
it's pretty minimal.
Yeah,
But it's good. I had gotten the sample pack of all of them, and I was like,
right,
I need to just use it up. Like I probably won't
right.
reorder it, but I'm like, I need to just use it up.
Oh,
So
for sure.
that's what I have
For
along with keto brains in it. So
mm,
I should be like really on top of everything today. And
yeah,
everything's just firing.
yeah. My coffee is
One
just
can hope.
mine is just boring old black decaf coffee.
Hey, don't mess with the classics.
I mean.
Um, we have some people in the chat already. Cheryl Davis is here. I believe
Hello.
she was first.
Yeah,
Lisa said, "Am I first?" And I'm sorry to say, but no. But
technically though, I think she's on my live stream.
that's
So if
right.
she
So
is
you
first
are
on
first.
mine, we appreciate you, Risa.
Well, I also appreciate you, Risa.
I
So,
said we.
oh, sorry.
The collective room here. We appreciate
Okay,
her.
okay, okay. I thought you meant only on your channel. She's appreciated.
We. My channel is a one-woman show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the mouse in your pocket.
Okay. You know, he sometimes
And
asks for a cookie.
Gary is here today.
How's
Jen
it going,
Bob.
Gary?
Blaze is
Hi,
here, of
Jen.
course.
Hi,
Richmond
Blaze.
is here. All the greats. Nancy
Purple
is
love
here.
and
Andrew is here. Hello. Purple loving Nona is here.
howdy, howdy.
Yes. Vita Z Gal is here. Yay. Janice is here. Hello. Brenda.
Brenda,
Oh,
my
Brenda. I know
mama.
who Brenda is. Uncle Big Guy is here.
Hey, there's
Charlotte
a name I haven't
is
seen in
here.
a while.
Yeah.
I
All
see him
right.
all the time on Amy's lives.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I've seen his name on maybe Two Crazy Ketos. I
Maybe
mean,
so. Yeah, I feel like he is one who kind of stays in our little realm over
yep.
here.
Yep. All right. Well, what are we talking about today?
Oh, okay. So you said it took me a minute. You said that you had put keto brains in your coffee
I
or
did.
your Rasa tea
Yeah.
coffee
Rasa coffee
situation.
thing. Yeah.
Coffee adjacent. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Well, this one technically has coffee in it, like for real.
Yeah.
So it's coffee plus other stuff.
Sure. So yeah, it's a goosed coffee.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the previous time that you had tried it, you felt some odd things, and I can't quite put my finger on what that was. How
Yes.
many times have you tried the keto brains from that point until now?
Not many. This is the first time I've tried it in a while, so we shall see.
Oh,
It
I
was
guess because you
heartburn.
haven't been making coffee, that all makes
Yes.
sense.
It was heartburn
Solid.
that I had, before, and I never really nailed it down. I will say
Sure.
I ate breakfast before I'm drinking this, so even if it is
Smart.
a thing, that could have helped. I am not drinking it on an empty stomach, which is probably
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
okay. I will say, as far as the Rasa, because the Rasa, for those of you that don't know, it's a coffee alternative. It is not coffee, although this blend does have a tiny bit of coffee added, but the other ones don't. When I first gave up coffee, I don't know, maybe a month ago now, I started
Feels
having
like ages.
yeah, I started having the Rasa in the morning, and I wasn't really sure about, like, how it made me feel because
Yeah.
I was coming off of caffeine, like, you can't be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, yeah, this
Mhm.
makes me feel great," when you're coming off of caffeine. And then I kind of was, like, over it because I don't love the taste, I don't hate it either, it's kinda like tea, it's like, I'll take it or not,
It's
whatever.
there.
Yeah, it exists. If someone offers it to me, I'll drink it, but I'm not gonna, go through the trouble of making it. Um, so anyways, I didn't drink it for a while, and I had some this morning. I just felt like having something hot, and so I mixed it up and I had it and I was like, I can feel it. Like I could feel and that one didn't have keto brains in it. That one had actual cream in it. And I was like, okay, I think I actually feel like some energy and like more than I
Usual.
noticed before. And so I was like, huh, maybe I'll start having it first thing in the morning and kind of see if that's a
A thing.
regular thing or I don't know. So I was kind of like, nah, on the rasa because it's not like I love the taste, but if it makes me feel really good in the morning, I might go back to it because I don't
Yeah,
mind the taste. So, anyways, there's an update on the
very
whole
cool.
situation.
Well, and I think that that kind of speaks to the whole process of this, just like human life. You kind of have to try something, and if it doesn't quite work out,
Yes.
sometimes you can set it down and then come back, and it changes things. And sometimes you come back to it, and you're like, yeah, that's still a hard no.
Yep.
It's just kind of hard to say when do you give something up and say it's not for me
Yeah.
versus saying, well, I can keep pushing through, or like just trying to discern what the best course of action is. So it's, like a fun experience and experiment to go
Yeah.
in and say, I'm trying this out. And if I need to set it down for a little bit and then come back to it, I'm good to do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. And there's so many variables. We've talked about this
Oh
before. Like
gosh.
saying I like this or I don't like this
Hmm.
or this works for me or this doesn't work for me. It's just like there's so many variables. There's been so many times where I've tried some experiment or a different, shaking things up with whatever. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that didn't work for me, or that did work for me. And then I go and try to do it again, be
And
like,
you
oh,
can't.
that thing worked for me. And now I'm going to make it happen again. And then it's like, that thing's not working for me. And whether it was because of some variables the first time or variables the second time, who even knows? But
Right.
that's why, we always are going to be in that state of, or I am at least in that state of experimenting and trying things out. And, we'll probably never get there until we're on our
Yeah.
deathbed and then we'll have it all figured out.
Absolutely.
That's why you
Absolutely.
should always, be there for people on their deathbed because you're going to get all the wisdom because that's the only time anyone
Definitely.
ever has it figured out.
Yeah. Hey, I saw Lynette popped in. Hello,
Lynette's here.
Lynette.
Yay.
And
Um,
Patty is here too. Did we miss others? I feel like
I
maybe.
think we did. Joanne is here
Hi,
and
Joanne.
Dale is here. Did I? Yeah. And Patty, you said Patty, right?
Sure did. I
There we
think I
go.
think we may have collected. Oh, Kel. Kel is here. Hello, Kel.
Yes.
You said
Yes,
that already? Did I
I did,
totally
but
block that
that's okay.
out?
It's worth saying twice.
Forgive
Um,
me.
Uncle Big Guy says, yes, we've seen him on 2KK, Dr.
Tons
Barry,
of different
Retired
spots.
Bob. He watches everybody, which
But
is
he
great.
does miss the Fab Four.
Yes, that was fun.
That
Yeah,
was a
I have
really
not
good
seen
time.
Janet on YouTube in forever. I
I
think
know.
her business just took off, and it's
I
like,
mean,
so if there's a good reason to, quit YouTube, it's that something else is doing super, super well.
right.
And then, Amy spending time with her family. I mean, how can we
Well,
how can
yeah.
we be upset about that?
I mean, you can't.
You
You
can't.
can't. But
Yeah,
that doesn't mean we can't miss that time that we
that's
had.
true. It was a very special time, and I love that.
It was a good season of life.
Mhm.
We can reminisce without feeling
Mhm.
despair.
Yep. Rickwin got the mystery flavor of keto chow. So exciting.
And it's gonna finally be announced. Cat will be out of the bag
Yes,
tomorrow. I don't
tomorrow.
remember what time they said. Do you?
I think it was 12:30 Eastern.
Okay.
Well, it was
Lunchtime.
the live stream is scheduled for 12 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 a.m. my time.
It's
So
happening.
finally, I can stop being paranoid that someone's gonna
That
say
you
something.
over said something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like the other day when we did the live stream on Monday for Cyber Monday. The kids were in here with me, and I was like, I can't say anything about keto chow, or one of them might,
Blurb.
I, I don't even think that they would, but just the possibility of it happening.
Oh, I know. Just
Don't do it.
you never know what's gonna go askew on a live stream. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
things. If you ever get bored, look up like newscast bloopers or like live TV like fails and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, always good
It's
for
terrible.
a solid belly laugh.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons that it took me so long to start doing live streams, because I was just like, I can't control it. It was one of those like out of my control things. With editing, it's like I could shoot something and then never post it, and no
For
one would
sure.
ever know.
And you could repeat it over and over again until you say it the way like that it makes sense from your brain to your mouth. Because sometimes
Exactly.
this very short distance doesn't actually translate things very proper, like very well. It's a
Yeah,
short distance, but it can really it can go askew
it
quickly.
definitely can. It definitely can. Reese is getting her mystery flavor tomorrow. Um,
Oh, but she's not sure since it's still in Salt Lake City. She's got
oh,
some confusing things there.
yes. Hopefully that the tracking just wasn't updated, but it's
Hopefully.
really on its way. Oh, Kel says, miss the Fab Four, but love the dynamic duo.
Aw, thank
I
you.
mean, we're only half of the Fab Four. We could never be the full
Yeah,
Fab Four, but we do our
that's true.
best.
I saw something the other day and it was asking the question like how do you make a heart with your hands? And for our aged group, we typically like you would go like this, right?
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yes.
like this. Apparently the way that whoa, what just happened? Apparently the way the kids do it nowadays is this number.
See, that
Like
one doesn't get the hearts. It doesn't
it
work.
I and it gives me mass confusion. Like how does that
Wait.
how, it's like candy canes mushed together. Make a candy cane. Like that's how yours is way better than mine. I can't.
I don't think so. I want to get the hearts.
Oh,
It's so unfair.
y'all, this is what it is. This is what our live streams on Wednesday are. It's us having just like a sit down chat of coffee and nothing even remotely useful 90% of the time. And then the other 10% of the time, Neely brings value. So that's what we do here.
That sounds like too much pressure.
I'm not saying that's what you need to
Not
do. I'm saying that's what it
guaranteed.
actually is.
Yeah, well, see, it's our way of knowing who really loves us for us
For sure.
and who is just, here for the polished content,
Well, I mean, I'm not a polished person by nature. I can, and it's exhausting to constantly be in the state of polished. I do much better with rustic, just go with the flow.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about it before, like, with YouTube, there's always the pressure to, like, keep getting better, keep, getting better lighting and better sound and better editing and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Make it cinematic and tell a story and, like, draw people in, and the thumbnails, I mean, they just have to keep getting better and better, and at some point, I was just like, I can't do that. I'm not a production company.
But not only that, you need to have it look all of those ways, but also be authentic
Exactly.
and relatable and,
Yeah,
all of
and
the things
feel
that
like you're just
everybody.
hanging out in the room with me, but at the same time, also all of the other things, and it's like, can't do it. I just can't do it, and so there's some point where I'm just like, yes, I see that if I went that direction, I could make something better, but I'm like, I can't do that. So it is
Well,
what it is.
yeah. I mean, and the whole concept of like you can do many things okay, but
Yes.
you can only do a few things well,
Yeah.
and you can only like maybe hone in on perfection with like one thing, possibly,
Yes.
maybe, but
Yes.
definitely can't.
Yeah. Well, I feel like motherhood in general is doing a lot of things mediocre.
Yes.
Mediocrely? Is that a word? It's like
Doing
there's
all
no
of the
choice.
things.
The perfection thing, like, that's not an option when you're a mother.
Yeah. Yeah. It's doing everything with mediocrity.
Yes, there you go. That's a better way to say it.
That's a good word. That's a good word right there.
All right. Well, Kel says that that's why they're here. So see,
Well, appreciate you.
this is who it's for. Oh, Lynette hopped over to yours to say hey to
Yay.
everybody.
Boo.
Let's see. Oh, Reese's son is getting over pneumonia. That is horrible.
Oh
Um,
man.
but at least he's getting over it. Like that's
Well,
you're
that
over the hump. And mildly sick going around. Ugh. Glad you guys are getting better. Oops,
indeed.
I didn't mean to do that, but Sing It is here.
I sing it.
Um,
Hey, I've always wanted to know. I know at some point we may have asked this question, or it could have just been in my mind. I want to know the story behind some of y'all's different handles, like your names here on the YouTubes.
yes.
Like Sing It. I always think of the what is it? Oh, I just blanked. Liv and Maddie was it? That's what it was. It was a TV show on the Disney Channel for a long time, and now it's on Disney Plus. And my girls, they love watching Liv and Maddie. And on that TV show, it's like a family of 4 children and their parents. And one of the girls goes off and has a TV show career, and her TV show was called Sing It Loud. And so she sings Sing It Loud all the time. And every time I read Sing It's name, I sing it in my head. Is that what that's from? Is that how you got to this point? I don't know.
I would love to. So it's funny when I see Sing It, and she's from Chicago. I always think of Chicago the musical. Like I don't know why, but it's just like,
yeah.
It has songs.
Also, here,
yeah.
Dad got hair today. Ugh.
Okay. Gary says that his handle comes from when he used to work a job at Nestle making sweet tarts, and the plant was on Water Street, and he misses that job. Wow.
Oh wow, that is so wild.
That is amazing. Best job ever. That's so cool.
I feel like I would probably sneeze a whole lot from all of the dust from all.
Yeah, getting high on the sweet tart dust. Let's see. Okay, so I was thinking about Christmas. I'm wearing my Christmas sweater, my new Christmas.
Oh.
And I would like to know, like in my mind this morning, I was like, we should share like favorite recipes for Christmas. And then I was like, I need to sit down and actually like make a list of them. And I never got to that. Maybe we could try to do that next week.
That's a great idea.
Because I thought that'd be fun. And so you guys watching, this is homework for next week.
I also have to write that down.
Think of some favorite holiday or Christmassy. I know there's different holidays that people celebrate this time of year, but holiday recipes, whatever that means for you. And we can share them. Oh, I don't know that people in the chat can share links. I don't think so. But you could at least share, the names of things. Anyways, and we can try to put together a list of some of our favorite holiday recipes to share next week. But I was thinking about like holiday. What do you guys do for the holidays, Lindsey? Like, what are some favorite traditions you do around the holidays? Like, what does that look like in your house?
In my world, that looks like we like to go cut down a tree every year.
Okay.
And one of the fun things that we used to do was where we lived back in Wisconsin, we would go to the same tree farm every year, and they would take a picture of you and, your little crew, and then they would post it on the wall, because it was like a log cabin where you could go in and sit down, have hot chocolate and cookies after you picked and chopped down your tree. So we would always go in, get our picture made, and then you'd search for previous year's picture, and that was always like the fun thing to do. And we do chop down a tree here. Gosh, it has been 4 years since we lived in Wisconsin. That's a little bit mind blowing. So here we also like to chop down a tree every year. I'm trying to think what else. So when you said favorite holiday recipe, the first thing and the only thing that like had flashing lights in my brain was eggnog. We love eggnog around this house, and my husband will make eggnog for like our friend group. We like to get together on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve? Yes, it's Christmas Eve, and do like appetizers after church is done. And then he would always bring eggnog homemade, and we would always pull out the moose head mugs from Christmas Vacation and drink eggnog out of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation moose head mugs.
Nice.
So that's the two that come to mind.
Okay. So I'll answer about the tree thing. We
Yeah.
amazingly have never gotten cut down a live tree for
Oh,
our
wow.
house. For whatever reason. So we were given a fake tree early in our marriage, and it was just easy. And early in the marriage, my husband was working 2 jobs, working graveyard, like it just wasn't a thing that we
Yeah.
and so we used the fake tree. And then when we moved out here, so we were in Portland and we moved out to the country, and the area that we're in is the Christmas tree capital of the world. Like at Christmas time, I mean, there's Christmas tree farms everywhere. And at Christmas time, there's helicopters that are like taking loads of Christmas trees. It's
From
amazing.
up in the woods out
Yes.
to the road so they can be trucked, because it's
Exactly.
easier to scoop them up like that than it is to haul them through on an unpaved road or an
Yes.
uncarved
The first time I saw that, I was like, "What is going on?" I had no concept that that is how it was done, and I was like, it was amazing. Anyways, so, well, a side note, I was like, there are opportunities for pilots here in this area,
I
so
was literally just thinking that,
I'm
Jared
just
is
saying
not
there's
just a
plenty
fixed
of
wing
job opportunities at
helicopter
least,
too.
November to December time. Actually, it probably starts a little earlier than that. Anyways, because they're shipping them all over the world. It's crazy.
That's
But
wild.
still, we have never gone and cut down a Christmas tree. We did get rid of our fake tree when we moved out here because we're just like, that's just wrong. Like you just can't have a fake tree when you live here. But our tradition,
Especially in magical Christmas tree land.
exactly. But our tradition now has become getting a live tree, a like potted live tree, and then planting it on our property after
the season.
So this will be our 3rd year. We haven't gotten ours yet, but we were talking about doing it here pretty soon. And our first one we planted after Christmas, and it lived for about 6 months, and then it sadly did not make it. And then last year, for some various reasons, it took us a while to get the Christmas tree out, and we were sure it was gonna die. Like all the needles came off, and
Stress.
after we planted it, but then like there was a miracle and it started growing again, and now it's got needles on it. So I think it's gonna be okay as long as we can keep the goats from eating it. Um, so that was last year. So it's like this 3rd year, we're like, we gotta they're too expensive to let die. Seriously.
You're batting a 500 right now. Like you've got a 50-50 average. That's way better than you could hope for, especially since you've only had 2. I mean, let's look at it from that vantage point.
Yeah,
Also, can I just pause for 12 seconds? Oh, you have something?
I put my tiny little Christmas tree here for festive, even though it's not even December. Oh my gosh. I don't get anything. There's some kind of a setting on here, and I saw someone using it before where it's like there's these different motions you can do, and it'll do like balloons or there's something.
I don't know what kind of motions we're doing.
But apparently you're the only one that can do it. I can't do it.
I am chosen. It had to be someone, and it's me.
Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious.
So,
okay.
12 seconds. I saw Chris Bear pop in. Hello, Chris Bear. Also, I saw Cindy DeManch. She popped in, and she is sick with the strep throat.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. But then I have one more thing. One more thing that happened. Patty, you go to Bentleyville and Duluth. Oh my word. That was another thing that we would try to do. The year that Lauren was born was wicked cold, and she was only about 3 months old. So it was like we were standing in line for Bentleyville when that was a thing, and it was just way too cold for us to stay because of, brand new baby. But we've gone through Bentleyville several times, and I love the ski hats that they give you afterwards. Like whenever you're going through it, it's like a big, massive pom-pom. So much fun. Bentleyville is a walk-through light experience. Like, they've got the drive-through light experience. This is a walk-through, and it is so phenomenal. Loved it.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. One year we did zoo lights at the Oregon Zoo. They do that
Here at the
big
Colonial
light
too.
display.
Yeah.
That was really fun, but that's not something we do every year.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's not cheap to go to the zoo for that thing, and then you're like overrun with
Yeah.
crowds and stuff.
Yeah,
But
the
that
one
was
sorry.
easy just because of the fact that it's like it goes on for multiple weeks and it's every single night, so you can kind of
Yeah.
choose what time frame works for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
see,
sounds
not
awesome.
the weekend. That's not the time.
That
That is
sounds
not the time.
Yeah, Chris Bear says, oops, yeah, Christmas apple tree sounds good to me. We that would be a good idea because we do want to add more fruit trees to our property, but Jeff wants to get a blue spruce this year, I think.
Ooh, yeah, those are so pretty.
We'll see how that goes. Okay. Lisa says just bought their first live potted Christmas tree. Also planning to
Whoa.
plant it on their 5 acres. That's awesome. Yeah. We love the idea. And after the first year, we're like, is this tradition really going to work out for us? But hopefully. The second one, it was like a miracle that was like the heavens opened up and the tree lived. So it's all good. Rebecca says that she loves these lives. Yes. Do it. Do it. Come on.
Oh!
Best part of my Wednesday workday. Oh my gosh. What is even going on right now?
I don't know if I can that one.
Live stream, Lindsey is just going to do all kinds of crazy motions to see what happens. Because who knows what else can happen.
So we got a thumbs up. We got a heart.
Oh my god. When you did thumbs up before, it did like a little thumbs up bubble thing.
Oh, I did it again.
See? See?
All the gestures. We're learning all of the gestures.
Wow.
Not gestures, gestures.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually watching a video last night and it was a serious video. And, like they were they were like having a very serious conversation and one of the guys did that. I must have been that and got
point number 2.
the balloons. All of a sudden balloons are going up when they're trying to have this serious conversation.
How about this? Point number 1. Does 1 give us anything?
Number 1. Nope, not a thing.
2. Little bunny foo-foo. Did we get a bunny?
This reminds me of when Snapchat first became a thing. Did you do that where or like the Instagram filters or whatever and you just sit there with your kids and do stupid filters for forever?
So I remember Snapchat first coming out and I remember resisting that for like ages. And then I tried it for a minute. And then I was like, this is dumb. I cannot make this work. My sister was into Snapchat for sure. So I feel like I'm aged out of that concept. But when Instagram filters were a thing, yeah, we definitely tried them out here and there. But I also was like, okay, I've got other things. I got to do more things. I can't just sit here.
Yeah, I know. It's
I never messed
especially with the kids. They just like would just die.
Oh,
and I have so many cute pictures, like Levi when he was a baby, you know, as a bunny rabbit or
oh, sure, or like a little deer. Or
yeah, this is so funny.
I did like the Snapchat or not Snapchat. It's a Instagram filter that was like the sunglasses, and you looked like you were wearing like aviators. I liked that a lot.
Yeah,
the heart shape. Okay, thumbs up gets the thumbs up emoji, but if it's 2 thumbs up, it's fireworks.
wow.
If it's a sign, it's balloons. Oh, I'm moving too fast. Oh, man down.
There it is. There it is.
Oh,
Sign. Balloons.
and we're good.
Are there any more? Is that it? Have we exhausted the?
Oh, rock on.
Okay. See, but I can't get anything. Why does Lindsey only get them? It's not fair. No,
I can't make it. I can't make it like me. I feel like I've got a deer. Oh, both hands.
No. Oh, there it goes.
Oh! What if What if we did 2-piece? Ooh, confetti!
Very specific. You live long and prosper. Nothing.
Can we do this? Can you do this with your fingers where you go 1, 2, 3, 4?
Let's see.
Keep the thumb tucked.
Oh. It's messing me up looking at myself. I need to look at my hand to do it. Okay, wow. We are really not adding value today.
I told you 90%. 90%.
So this, going back to Christmas things, we have had the tradition that I've shared about so many times on the YouTubes about making truffles. That's what we do. Okay, don't try any, dirty hand signals, please.
Well, he said touch your pointer to your pinky without using your other hand. I got that one. And on the other side. And a hair. Hands are fun.
Okay. Anyways, truffles have been the Christmas tradition in our house for many, 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 many years. And I love it. We're going to continue to do it. Although, since we've moved, we've not had to make as many because there's not as many people in our regular life. Like, we're still working on building our community here and everything. And I've been thinking about like wishing that I had something besides truffles that was non-food related.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm trying to focus.
Talking. So like I want to learn how to make soap or make candles or something that's not food related, that's but also handmade. Yeah. Because it's like, like I'm getting to know people in my neighborhood and getting to know like the ladies at exercise class that I've been doing. And I'm like, I don't want to be the one that just brings chocolate, or that. Sure. And not that I don't want to do that anymore. It's just like, I don't want that to be the only option.
Sure.
So I'm still thinking about that. I don't know if I'll be able to get anything done for this year, but my brain has started kind of thinking about it, like lotion or.
I have an idea.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
Like probably a little bit more executable within a shorter time frame.
Okay.
You could make little like steamer pots or like the little potpourri blends that you could then put into water on your stove. And you could pull out like rosemary, some cinnamon sticks, dried out orange slices, some cranberries, something. And it could be like super quick to be able to like package up real fast.
Yeah.
Hand out.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to soap making, unless it's like a melt and pour type soap, you kind of have to give that a lot of time to cure. Yes. So that would be I love the idea because I think that really speaks to the whole, like, I'm putting effort in and also I'm not trying to give you things that are just going to collect dust or make you feel obligated to now hold on to for the rest of your life. Instead, it's have the thing, use the thing, and then move on.
Yes.
I love that.
And not a food that you feel like you need to eat to.
Yeah.
Anyways, if anyone has any other ideas, feel free to put them in the chat. I would love to hear. Just kind of thinking through that, like what could, and like with us on the farm, it's like eventually maybe we'll, harvest enough beeswax to do something with that, like beeswax candles or, maybe one day we'll have goat milk and we'll be able to make goat milk soap or, stuff like that. So there's stuff like in the future, but we're not there yet. But
I love this so very much. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it would be fun. Candles would be fun. Candles are so expensive. Like to get a nice candle that doesn't have all of the fake fragrances. Yeah. Like they're crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And so that would be a nice thing to be able to make yourself.
Yeah.
If you could make it cheaper.
I tell you what else could be kind of cool is if you did like bulbed flowers, like flowers that grow from bulbs. And like, I don't know how that all works, like how you could grow and then harvest bulbs.
Yeah.
But That could be kind of cool. And I know over in Portland, on like the Fairview side, Gresham area where that Target was or
Mhm.
is, I'm assuming it's still there. There
Oh,
was
they're
this
talking now.
row that like you would drive down it and it was like a split road. It was kind of just in that area, but like they would have thousands of tulips just right there in the center of the road itself, like in the island. And it
Uh-huh.
just made my day whenever I would
Mm.
drive over there when we lived out in Oregon to just like
Yeah,
see these vibrant tulips. And it lasted for like what, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks
yeah.
before they all like bleh.
Mhm.
But that would be really
That would be
cool.
cool. Did you ever go to the, tulip festival in
Mm-mm.
Woodburn?
No.
Oh, man. We've gone to that a few times, and it is, I mean, it is worth it. It is
Yeah.
spectacular. I mean, it looks like the pictures you see of Switzerland, or is it Switzerland? No.
I feel like it's is it the Dutch?
Yeah, yeah,
Amsterdam.
yeah,
I
that sounds
think
more
I
right.
think
But
I
yeah,
think that's
it's
where they
just incredible.
yeah. I mean, tulips are just one of those things, like they're just so vibrant that it just you can't help but feel happy about them.
Yeah,
And then they're there for like a moment and then
yeah,
they're gone.
yes. Yeah, you have to
Chris
appreciate it.
Bear. That is a fun idea.
What is it? Oh, this one?
Mandels.
Baseball glove. Yeah. Yeah, like, Axel.
Bloody armpit.
Yeah. Well, you could do something nice like leather or
Yeah. Yeah.
eucalyptus.
Oh, I do love a good eucalyptus scent.
Me too, me too. Risa says food gift ideas. Collect blackberries in the season, make jam. Yep, that's an awesome one. Eventually, I think honey we will be able to do. If we
That'd
get
be cool.
little cute jars, that would be really fun.
Infused honey. Ooh. Ooh. You could do like honey garlic where you put like the all the garlic cloves and let it kind of meld into the honey. Or there was something else that I thought of for a second there. Oh, it was extracts, like making vanilla extract,
Good idea.
making extract or something like that. But I don't know how easily doable that would be with things that you could grow or like
Yeah,
produce yourself. That
I
would be
mean,
more
we have wild mint on our property.
that could be cool.
That could be cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
Bye, Risa.
Um, I was gonna say, Jeff had the idea, or we kind of jointly had the idea of smoked honey. Is that a thing?
I don't know, but Chris just mentioned smoked cheese, and I feel like
Yeah.
no matter what you've
It's
got, you could
great.
probably smoke it.
Yeah, well, you smoke it
Probably
and then you
smoke
like
it.
triple the price. It's like added value
Log-
right there. Yeah.
Logic.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I was listening to an interesting podcast the other day, and it was I forget who it was with, but they were talking about, it was like titled How to Actually Make Money on a Small Farm.
Oh,
Because,
sure.
and like
That,
bursting the bubble of I'm gonna get rich selling eggs, it's just like, or selling vegetables. It's just like, I'm sorry, it's a nice hobby, but it's not the moneymaker. And their biggest tip was that added value thing. So instead of the guy was talking about one farm that instead of raising chickens and just selling chicken, they raised chickens and took all of the meat and made it into chicken sausages. And
ooh,
those
yeah.
sold for a lot more per pound because of that little bit of added value. And I was like, "Oh, that would be great. Like goat sausages. I think that would probably sell at a farmer's market."
Oh,
And
for
then
sure.
they talked about like if you live near a city doing like ready to eat salads rather than just selling vegetables. And so something like honey, it's like, yeah, you can sell honey, but lots of people are doing that. But if you were to make like infused honey or smoked honey, or just doing that little extra something to it that makes it
Right.
more of a product rather than a commodity, that's where you can actually,
Value.
get yeah, value add and get some actual return for
For
your investment.
sure.
So I've been thinking about that.
That's
Yeah.
a really solid point. Have you okay, so y'all butchered one goat. Did
Yes.
y'all keep the bones and everything and try to make goat broth?
I do have a bunch of the bones in the freezer, and I have not cooked them yet, but I will say that when I made, uh, goat stew, The
Uh-huh.
broth from the meat was so good. It
Was
was
it?
so flavorful. It was amazing. Like, it was just like it's similar to beef, and it's not we don't think it tastes like lamb. Lamb kinda has this really unique
Distinct.
lamby taste. Goat is just, like, savory squared. Like, it's just turned up a notch. I don't know.
Is
But
it like the bacon of beef almost? Like, you know how like bacon kind of like it's pork, right?
right.
Or but
But it's,
but
like, the
it's
best.
it's thing, but it's got like that umami that you cannot replicate
Yeah.
easily.
There
Is that
is
kind of what
something
you mean
there
when you say savory squared?
yeah, it's like this is extra bit of flavor that's just a
Mhm.
little bit different and just
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so good.
so cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So eventually, maybe we'll do the goat sausages. I think that would be really fun. And
That
that's
would be
something
really
that,
awesome.
we could sell from the farm, sell at a farmer's market, and maybe even, like, ship around. That would be really cool.
And yeah, for sure. I had other thoughts, but I feel like we kind of
Trees made out
emotionally
of
have moved
sweet
forward.
nettle. I think the only ones that would appreciate that are the goats. So we might do that for the goat. Yes. Although nettle makes a great tea, it has all kinds of health benefits. So there you go. Yeah. How to make $1 million on a farm, start with 2 million. Exactly.
I feel like that's
Easy.
accurate for like YouTube too. How to make $1 million on YouTube. You start with 2 million.
That is so true. Oh my gosh. Oop.
This
Just
is this is still technically a hobby for me. Not quite a jobby even.
it takes a lot. Yeah, people will ask me, like, for advice and stuff. Like, they're just like, "I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel, like, as a job." And I'm like, "Just don't. Just
I mean, more
if
power
you
to
enjoy
you for
it,
desire, but
yeah, if you enjoy it, do it for fun. And if it catches on and goes viral, then maybe think about making it a full-time job. But, like, to start it out thinking it's gonna be a full-time job, I was just like, "Oh, spare yourself. Just go get a job. It's so much easier."
well, and you can also like set a normal job or a typical out of the house job down at the end of the day
Right. Yes.
instead of trying to squeeze it into every nook and cranny of your day.
Exactly, and feeling guilty when you do anything else besides your job.
Right.
Yeah, that's li and Jeff obviously feels that similar thing being self-employed. I'm sure
Yeah.
Chris knows what that's like as well.
Chris does it for the lulz.
Um, Lisa has a great idea, drying the mint and doing little bags of mint tea, that would be amazing.
You
That
can
would be really
oh,
fun.
that would be a phenomenal idea, or that is a phenomenal idea. Also, making little like linen reusable tea bags and maybe putting
Oh,
together like, a pack of like 4 or 5 little tea bags
that's a good
that
idea.
are reusable and then putting the dried mint tea together as like a loose leaf tea so
Yeah,
that way and it could be like, like the unrefined linen type whatever material or I don't know what they do that with. Cheesecloth, I don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but that
One
kind of
year and I had totally forgot about this, but one year when I had tons of herbs in the garden, I made herb salt. That was really fun. Lemon, rosemary, and then other
yes.
herb salts. And then, my brother and sister-in-law did that one year, and they gave, like, 4 or 5 different little jars. Like, one they actually smoked their own salt, and then
Nice.
we did a rosemary and a few different flavors. That was really fun too. That would be a fun one
Yeah. That
on.
was really cool.
Yeah, and, I bought a 10-pound bag of kosher salt from Redmond. So I was like, "You know what? I gotta stop buying these little bags. I gotta just go for it." I didn't quite go for the 25-pound bag.
That's what I
I was
have.
not quite ready for that, but 10 pounds, I was like, "I can do 10 pounds." So I have that sitting there. I should do some although my herbs I had to transplant my herbs, and they didn't survive. So I
Oh,
start over from scratch on that one. That was
that's a
sad.
bummer. That is a bummer. I do have the 25-pound bag of Redmonds and it was worth it.
Yeah. I need to just get, like, a resealable bucket, um,
Yeah.
And then I can, then I'd be more comfortable. I'm just worried that some moisture is gonna get in there or something, and the salt
Yeah,
will lose its saltiness.
for sure. I think maybe like a little sachet of rice, like dry rice, put
Oh,
into
yeah.
just,
That's a
you
good
know,
idea. That's a good idea. Let's see.
they had
Uh,
asked a question.
yes, I just saw that. What about you, Lindsay?
I
You
didn't.
you can share all of your deepest, darkest secrets.
So my mom-in-law, she did a pork butt instead of turkey, which I was all in on that, and it
Amazing.
was delicious. So I stuck with the pork, and my sister-in-law, she made Brussels sprouts, so I stuck to the pork and the Brussels sprouts. And then I made kind of like a no-bake cheesecake, and I used pecan sticky bun from Keto Chow as my flavor for the actual cheesecake layer. I just
Nice.
did like a basic uh, pie crust with my baking blend, nothing too fancy or special. And it turned like it didn't set up properly because I think I over blended some of it instead of beating it. And like technique matters on some of these things.
Definitely.
But my husband said, let's stick it in the freezer and let it set more. And once it would come out of the freezer, it was like perfection. So those were the three things that I hate
Nice.
on Thanksgiving Day.
Excellent. Okay, so on Thanksgiving Day, we had steaks, because we were
Oh,
just home, just family at home, and
beautiful.
it was glorious. On Saturday, we went to a dinner, that was a Thanksgiving dinner, so it was they had made
Wonderful.
turkey and mashed potatoes and, the Thanksgiving stuff, and that was the day that I made our traditional bacon wrapped dates, teriyaki bacon wrapped dates. I do have a video on that.
Danger,
It
Will
is
Robin.
not keto. It is
Danger.
not keto, but man, it's so good. And I ate more of those than I
Anticipated,
well,
planned
than I
for,
felt.
decide.
I didn't feel good after it. So it's like then I was like, and by not feel good, I mean like metabolically. Like when I eat sugar, it makes me so tired and like my head's foggy. I didn't get any kind of like digestive stuff. It was just
Sure.
like I just want to go take a nap and life isn't fun anymore, you know? And I'm like, well, that was not worth it. So that was one, although it was almost worth it because those are so good. They're so good.
Dates
And then
are a crazy thing. They are so addictive.
yeah, yeah.
And
And then I
it's hard.
also what go ahead.
I was gonna say it's hard too because they are just like a whole natural food. So it's
Yeah,
one of those things where you're like, I should be capable of consuming this and maintaining some level of control. And the reality is it's like candy.
it is. It is. And yeah, it's funny because I found that recipe when I was doing paleo because it's
Yeah.
dairy free, it's grain free, it's all the good stuff, besides sugar free. So, anyways, I had more of those than I should have. I was tasked with bringing a fruit salad. I ate fruit salad, and so that like all of that combined, it was like I just had too much sugar and I didn't feel my best after that. And so I was like, nah. But I mean, since I don't have the digestive issues so much anymore,
Yeah.
unless I go off and eat a whole bunch of grains or something, which that doesn't happen. Um, it's more just like just that afternoon I feel tired and then I'm pretty much fine afterwards. And it's always a good reminder to me, like why I don't just eat that all the time. So
Yeah.
it wasn't I don't think I paid for it terribly. It was like, it's fine. I'm not gonna do that every day. I know I would feel horrible, but that one day, whatever. And I remember why I don't do it every day. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad.
For looking forward, I know we've only got about 10 minutes left here, but looking forward, Christmas meal, like after having assessed like what happened for a Thanksgiving meal, and now for the next holiday meal, whether it's like Christmas or whatever holiday meal people are focused on next,
Mhm.
do you anticipate doing anything differently for the next go around? Since obviously we cannot make different choices in the past. We can only
Right.
make different choices for the future. So
Right.
do you plan on changing anything or allowing anything for yourself come the next holiday
So
festivity meal?
yeah. So I am going to go into Christmas this I think the same way that I went into Thanksgiving, because if I were to be like, I'm gonna go ultra strict and I'm not gonna eat a bite of anything, I think that would be worse for me in the end.
Mm,
Mentally and possibly physically, I can't, say for sure, but mentally at least, it wouldn't be enjoyable. Like,
yeah.
that would feel too restrictive, and I would probably end up thinking about food way more
Mm,
than if I just go into it saying, "I can eat really whatever I want." And I even have this recent experience eating a little too much sugar and knowing how I felt to inform me when I do decide to eat a little bit or not. And
sure.
so for me, that works. And I know that not everyone is in that same place. And, the one day turns into a month, and I just am not there. So it's like I had that day, that Saturday, and the next day I'm back on my baseline regular diet. And so that I'm not so worried about that one day. If that one day were to propel me into a month, then yeah, I would be worried about it. But for me, I just am not at that place. So
Yeah.
yeah. And if I did, and like I said, if I did put that pressure on myself like, "Oh, I made such a horrible mistake on Thanksgiving and I can't repeat that, so I'm gonna go on this ultra strict and I'm gonna not even think about eating anything beyond, meat, salt, and water." Like, it wouldn't be good. Even if I stuck to it mentally, it wouldn't be good, and it would be miserable. And since I can partake in something and then get right back the next day, that's what I'm gonna do. There you go.
Very
What
cool.
about
Very
you?
So we are going to Texas for the Christmassy festivities, and mom, she told me that they were planning on doing a spiral ham, and everybody else is just like kind of bringing stuff to fill the rest of the table.
Nice.
And I told her, my mom, we grew up, mom always made Christmas candies. Like there were truffles galore, peanut butter cups galore, fudge galore. And so my childhood Christmas was all about the candy making, kind of like how, y'all have your tradition of the truffles.
Yep.
And I told my mom, I might be persuaded to eat some of your truffles if you make them, mom. And she was like, done. And I'm like, ugh.
I regret what I just said.
I regret everything. So my expectation, my mental state of being right now is that I will go in and maintain what I typically would choose to do as far as like staying away from anything that's breaded, staying away from anything that's got like any of the grains on it or in it or what have
Mhm.
you. And trying to maintain a fairly focused like meat and lower carb vegetables sort of mentality on my plate,
Yes.
and then possibly having like one or two of mom's truffles. And now here's the danger in that. I I do not ever feel like restricting something entirely is going to make me go off the rails. Like it's a yes or it's a no.
Mhm.
There's no like middle zone for me. Um and then as I've lived, in a keto lifestyle for as long as I have, I
Mhm.
do find that it's very easy for me to just say no. Like it's just easy to say no. But then if I ever start into something, it becomes problematic for that time period.
Mm.
So we've traveled abroad some this past several years, and in some of those travels you eat the bread whenever you're in a local spot where there's bread, or you eat the fruit when they are serving you fruit, or gosh, we went to Scotland and there was like haggis, and that's not low carb friendly. There's a lot of things that are not low carb friendly in those areas. So it's like I would eat those things. I would still be like in the back of my head saying, I really don't want to go too far on this. I really don't. So I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But also like this is what's presented and I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but it was also limited because that was in a different time and place. So once I got back home, it was like there's no question. Of
Right.
course I'm back to my normal. Like that's no big deal. But I also know that when it comes to mom's truffles, that can be danger zone for me because like childhood would be have have one and then it's like have one for each hand. And
Mhm.
then it's well, I mean technically there's 5 fingers on a hand, so I need one for each finger.
Mm. Yeah. Uh-oh.
I was trying to throw a gesture. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. And I oftentimes, when I go to my parents' house, I will come up and or come down because they live south of me. I will go down and I will create things for myself that are good for me and Jared because he also eats low carb with me. Um, but also, I don't want to deprive my mom of her love language of making something for me or
Yeah.
making something for the holidays that's traditional. So I think what will happen is I will probably eat like one or two, and then I will have made some other low carb friendly dessert that
Yeah.
Jared can then turn to so that I do not completely fly off the rails.
Yeah. I like this comment from Rickwin about making some keto chow fudge. That could be
Yeah, that's a
too.
great idea.
I was just looking at fudge recipes. Well, they were talking about fudge last night on the live stream, Keto Chow live stream,
Okay.
and I asked for what the best recipes are because I've not made Keto Chow fudge before, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I
Same.
think I need to this holiday season. So I'm actually gonna try to do it soon and do it
Yeah.
in a video. Renee wanted to do it with me, so I will share that soon, maybe in my next My Chow unboxing video, which
She's
is
a
coming up
keto
really
chow queen.
soon. Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna be trying that, and that sounds
Yeah.
good.
I have not tried any of the keto chow fudges either. So I also think I might try to dabble into those. I mom the way she always made fudge, like some people make it with the marshmallow fluff and it has to like, like it's more about temperature of things and it can be left out on the counter. Mom always did hers so simple. It was so ridiculously simple. It was just chocolate chips, sweetened condensed milk, and a pinch of salt.
Oh my god.
And like all melted, poured into a little pan, and then just cut into cubes. So I feel like that type of fudge is very easy to do because keto friendly condensed milk is pretty simple to make. And there's 1,012 different varieties of
Mhm.
sugar-free chocolate chips on the market.
Yes.
But I definitely want to give the keto chow inclusion an opportunity.
Yeah, I just need to, decide what flavor to make.
Oh, for sure. Ooh,
Part.
feel like having a layer of chocolate and then a layer of chocolate mint would be pretty
Yeah.
rock
Really
solid.
good too, and it would look really pretty too.
It would look super
With the
pretty.
green. That's a
Super
great.
pretty.
Okay, yes, I will post the video if you, what?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay.
Well done.
Um, I yeah, I will post a video and then if you go on the Keto Chow website in the recipe section, there's two recipes that were recommended to me that you can use different flavors for. One of them is the banana white chocolate fudge.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I'm going to use that recipe because it didn't have an added sweetener to it. It's just the white chocolate chips and cream and
Uh-huh.
anyways, and then the other one was the chocolate mint fudge. And that one had xylitol added. And they said adding allulose instead would make it a little grainy. So I was like, I don't want to do that because we don't keep xylitol in the house anymore.
Dogs.
Um, so anyways, I'm going to try that white chocolate one, but do something different than banana. And I was thinking
Yeah.
of not doing a chocolate flavor because we're doing the white chocolate chips. So I don't know. People say pecan sticky bun fudge. It's pretty great.
That sounds delightful.
Or a gingerbread or a pumpkin spice caramel, like something really festive. I don't know.
I
We'll
feel
have to
like
think about it.
eggnog and then
That would be good. Although Levi can't eat that one, so we probably
oh
wouldn't do that one.
wait, there's
It has
actual
egg in
eggs
it.
in
Yes,
eggnog.
I like
Huh.
I just assumed that all keto chows didn't have eggs, and it was
Yeah.
I turned over the package and looked because there's egg in it. I did check, like, when we first got keto chow, there was a lemon meringue one,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Did it have
"Meringues don't have egg whites," and so I did check, And then I was lulled into a false sense of security until I turned around the package and I was like, there are whole eggs in this keto chow. So it's good to know. Yeah. So there were no issues because he did not taste it, but I was glad that I looked.
Indeed.
Jonathan Shane is here.
Hello.
He says white
side
chocolate
note.
chips are underrated. How do you feel about white chocolate chips, Lindsay?
Right. So I like white chocolate because I like cocoa butter.
Mm.
I'm not of the understanding that white chocolate is the same as chocolate. Like I don't have that. I don't have those wires crossed. I firmly believe that they are two different things. And white chocolate is not a vanilla thing. It is just cocoa butter and the sweetener.
Yeah, I kind of I can't really tell a difference between white chocolate chips and vanilla chips. Because aren't vanilla chips made with cocoa butter?
That I don't know. I've
Vanilla?
never found vanilla chips before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't they don't taste like chocolate. I feel like they're like a blank slate. So when we make our lemon truffles, we use white chocolate chip.
Chocolate. Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't taste like chocolate. It just is a blank slate for the vanilla flavor. And I've made raspberry ones as well with those. Those are really good. But they're not
raspberry fudge, the raspberry cheesecake, and the chocolate.
That would be good.
As the fudge. As the keto fudge.
Good. Yeah, when we made raspberry truffles, I made the filling with the white chocolate chips.
Okay.
It was like beautiful pink filling. And some of them I dipped in white chocolate and some of them I dipped in semi-sweet chocolate. And I could not decide which one I liked better. They were both incredibly different, but they were both so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like raspberry and chocolate is always a winner.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, there's eggs in the eggnog keto chow, and Levi is so sensitive that I would not even try it. But there's no pistachio in the pistachio. Good to know. So pistachio keto chow is I don't know if it's the only flavor, but it's the main flavor that Jeff does not like.
Oh.
And he says it tastes like Play-Doh.
Okay. I don't know how often he's eating Play-Doh to make that comparison, but okay.
Well, I mean, he was a very adventurous child. So he's always a tell it like it is kind of guy. Like he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And he's like, I'd tell Chris that I don't like it. And I was like, Chris doesn't care. Like people tell
I don't
him
know. I feel like Chris
all the time.
Like I need to know what not to make when Jeff comes and hangs out.
Yeah. So anyways, don't serve Jeff the pistachio keto chow. That's not his favorite.
Do it and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, well, he'll tell you to your face that he doesn't like it. All right.
I have other thoughts, but like when Jonathan Shane popped in, I had thoughts about his true endurance because I've been testing it out and trying it, but we're already at an hour.
Well, I want to know now.
The too long didn't read session is that it tastes phenomenal and it works.
Doesn't it? It's crazy. And it's not like it's a caffeine rush.
There's no caffeine in it.
That's crazy.
And yet I am just like, oh, we gotta go. Let's do the thing. Let's do.
Yeah. Well, I found that I can't have it too late in the day because it actually makes me not sleep.
That's wild. I have not tried it. Like I only try it in the mornings before I'm going to go do some exercising. But I think because I'm such a short person, I am going to try experimenting with less than a full scoop in my water to see if that still gives me the same kind of impact and the same kind of results without, I mean, like, I tell you what, like I have never sweat as hard.
Yeah, I've done only half a scoop before a workout and I still felt it.
It does the job. I mean,
it is so crazy.
It's phenomenal. And you hear sour berry and you're like, ooh, but then it's like, this is amazing stuff.
Yeah, I know. If anyone tells Chris that they don't like a flavor of keto chow, like he's like, I'm done with you.
Yeah, solid.
It's just the way Chris is.
on everything, then why bother being friends?
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to be friends with me and anybody who is a clone of me.
Yes. So pretty much just me. I am the
I'm
best
real
friend
good with
for
me.
myself.
And also,
Oh my
I
goodness, life.
agree with me when I change my opinions.
Justin just got here right when we're about to get off.
Aw, womp, womp, womp.
My goodness, we've been waiting this whole time, and you finally show up.
Hey, but guess what I can give you, Dustin?
There it goes. I
Can
cannot.
Neely do that? No.
Apparently, I cannot. No,
No, she
see?
can't.
Nothing. Not a thing. Not anything.
Hold steady.
Nothing. See? There's something wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. Way too much fun. Okay, Cindy said, oh my gosh. Cindy said, I made salted caramel. I'm gonna get the thumbnail for this, and it's gonna be that picture right there. Yes, that's gonna be epic. Okay, salted caramel keto chow fudge using chocolate salted caramel chips.
Mmm.
And you made 5 more flavors, is that what you're saying? Because that's crazy.
Short people powers. Listen, Neely's not that much taller than me. I feel like she still qualifies as short people.
I'm short
Kind of.
people. I'm 5'4.5". My husband tries to convince me I'm 5'5", but I think I'm 5'4.5".
Well, I mean, I'm like an inch shorter than you, so I'm not that much shorter.
No.
I have not crossed the 5'4" threshold.
Okay, sing it. How are you still attempting to purchase keto chow? Oh, emailed back and forth during the live. And what could be the problem?
I feel like no matter what the problem is, their customer service is amazing,
It'll work out.
and I hope that they get that worked out for you quickly.
Yeah. So Chris was saying on our live stream earlier this week that there's certain like softwares that will pop in coupon codes for you. Like they try to search for coupon codes and automatically enter them. And that
Okay.
can mess up.
Interesting.
Because people are saying the coupon code kept coming off, like going away. And then, yeah. So anyways, and it's like Keto Chow can't control all of those variables, that's like,
For
so
sure.
yeah, I had somebody basically say that Keto Chow was trying to con them, saying you'll get it for this price, but then making the price go to the full price. And I'm like, you obviously don't know them. Like that is so far from reality. And I was like, I just email customer service. They will take care of you. I know it. So
yeah.
anyway.
Sing it. Chris
Yes.
does have a recommendation, like if you're still having some struggles, that you can call them and they have humans that answer the phone.
Yeah, I had a viewer ask about Equip if they had a phone number to call to place an order, and they don't have a phone number. So like it's a big deal that Keto Chow has a phone number that has people that will answer and speak to you
Real
in
humans.
in human voices.
No, not human. Who's this human? Human.
Human. Okay.
Humans.
Well, after all of that valuable hour and 8 minutes of information for everyone that had no shenanigans or weirdness, we should, we're in danger of giving people too much valuable information on this live stream, so we should probably hop off.
Cut it off. Cut. Does cut do anything? No.
No.
Just peace.
Says my zip code is wrong. Wow, that's weird. That is weird. Well,
I feel like talking to the humans might be the fastest path to clarity.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a way. Seriously. Yes, Lisa says Keto Chow does have good customer service. Okay, and Dustin says the fun level is dangerously high. Yes, it's super dangerous. And I am extremely jealous. Next time we get on, it's gonna be my turn. I'm gonna get all of the fun things. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. And don't forget your homework for the week. Think
Yes,
of a
I
few
wrote
of
mine
your favorite holiday recipes. Be ready to share like the titles of them in the chat next week, so we can all get some ideas. I got lots
can
of
all
great
go
ideas today.
infiltrate your holiday meal, but at our own home.
There you go. There you go. Yep.
Living
And
life
that's it.
together, but separately.
Also, if you are watching this on the replay, go to the comments and leave comments about handmade or homemade non-food
Gift
gifts
items.
or keto-friendly food gift items. I would love to hear
Yeah.
about that. All right. Bye, everybody.